Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a reading for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm going to start today by pulling a star seed oracle card. I'm just really feeling pulled to this deck, and I feel there is a starting message here, particularly for a divine feminine listening. Now, do keep in mind that these labels, divine feminine and divine masculine, are just labels to describe energy. They aren't necessarily tied to a particular gender, so they could apply to your internal divine masculine or divine feminine, an external person or situation, or something else in your life. And as I always say, only take from the readings what does resonate with you at a personal and intuitive level. Okay, so here we have the card Messenger. Serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. I got this flash of an image as it was of you as a soul prior to incarnating here, kind of looking down on planet Earth and deciding whether or not you wanted to incarnate here again, because I do feel that you are one who has had many incarnations. And I'm hearing that you saw a lot of heaviness, a lot of chaos, a lot of darkness on the planet, and you knew that it was going to be challenging to be physically embodied here on this very dense earth plane, because you are a very advanced and high vibrational soul naturally, and you knew that your presence on earth would be highly triggering to the dense collective unconsciousness. And yet that is exactly why you wanted to incarnate here, because you would trigger the illumination of light within others, and you would assist in triggering this mass awakening that's now happening on a global scale. So in that sense, you are a messenger, as this card says, a messenger sharing the message of unconditional love, sharing the light of your being through your presence here on earth. But I am picking up a lot of heaviness around this, which tells me that it's really not always been easy for you. I also feel I'm speaking to someone who is working on really beginning to get their balance here as a soul incarnated on earth. For some reason, I'm hearing the word late bloomer. So from a physical human perspective, you may feel as though it's taken you a long time to really fully come into your own on earth. Maybe you feel as though you've been delayed in reaching some of those traditional milestones that others define as success, whether that has to do with relationships, career, work, your life. I feel you've taken a very unique path here on earth. And at times, your human physical self may find themselves falling into cross comparison with the paths that others have taken. But I'm hearing your guides say, you took this unique path for a reason. Everything is going according to divine plan. You chose to take a very unique, and when I said unique, my guides wanted to replace that with highly specialized path here on earth, to do or be what you want to do or who you want to be in this world. And others may have even defined this at times as stubbornness, because I feel that you have a very rebellious spirit when it comes to conforming, meaning you are not one who is going to conform to what society wants you to be, because at a really deep soul level, you know, and you've always known consciously or subconsciously, that you incarnated here to walk this very unique, highly specialized path. So these messages have been a little bit unexpected, but I do want to read a little more into this. So what is this highly specialized path for the divine feminine soul tuning into this reading today? Four of Coins, shedding the old, letting go. This card can also represent generosity and sharing. And I'm seeing that you, Divine Feminine, have always been one that is very non-materialistic in the sense that you value people over things. You value emotions, your emotional connection with other people over the superficial kind of connection on the surface. And because of this, you've always been one who is very open with your heart. Perhaps growing up, you were the type of person who would give anything to anyone around you, who would always volunteer to help people, to give advice to people. I'm feeling like you were one as well who would always come to the aid of the underdog, of those who were being mistreated unfairly by people around them. You are really one who fights for those who can't fight for themselves and who gives a voice to the voiceless. I'm really seeing that in your energy. And through all of this, you have been showing a new way. Of course, I'm hearing that word way shower, showing a new way to the collective consciousness, a way of breaking down barriers of division and separation, a way of unconditional love. And because of that, you've also never really fit into the old system, the old way of doing things. And so in fact, there may have been times that you yourself were mistreated or felt very misunderstood by other people. For some reason, I'm seeing someone growing up in school, possibly called weird by other kids at the school or made fun of in some way. This won't be for everyone, but I feel that again, for many of you, it's taken a while to really feel like you are beginning to come into your own, beginning to stabilize yourself here on earth. And I do see this is a process that's still continuing. But I am getting that either now or shifting into the future, the near future, you are coming into this space of more groundedness on this planet and within yourself. I feel that, again, for a long time, you may have felt that you were really out of place, that you were really different from the people around you and you couldn't really connect with others. But I'm hearing that through this collective awakening that's taken place on the planet, and in part that has happened simply through your presence here in this lifetime, through all of that, others are waking up. And what they once called weird or strange or unusual about you, about your life choices, about your mannerisms, they are actually beginning to, through their own awakening, have their eyes opened to why you made the choices that you did. I'm hearing people who may have once misunderstood you or even mistreated you are now in awe of you. And again, if this isn't something you're yet experiencing, I see this being something that you're coming into the very near future, because I'm hearing that the world is going through an awakening, realizing what you knew deep down all along. Many people around you are going to be waking up to new truths about themselves, about their life, about the world, and coming into an understanding of you. They might even think back to interactions they had with you in the long past. This could even be childhood interactions when you were a teen, a young adult. And these people who are going through this awakening will see you as the leader that you've always been. They will honor and respect you, at least within their own mind, within their own consciousness. And in some cases, they may even express to you that they see you as someone who is really ahead of the pack in the way that you were ahead of this collective awakening that's now taking place. Again, take this as it resonates with you. It's almost like what was once weird about you were those beautiful, pure soul characteristics that you always let shine through. And the reason that you so stubbornly held on to those parts of yourself is because what was once considered weird within you is meant to be normalized. Following one's true soul path is meant to be normalized. Loving unconditionally is meant to be normalized. Being an artist in whatever way that is for you, whatever you're creating or doing in the world, that is meant to be normalized. And those things are becoming normalized collectively, again, through this awakening that's taking place on the planet. And I feel that you're going to see more and more evidence of that as time goes by. So I want to know more about this groundedness you're coming into in the physical world. What is this groundedness for Divine Feminine? First of all, I heard something about meeting or connecting with people. So you may be connecting with new people who are either part of your soul family or who are going through their own awakening and who are beginning to open their minds and their hearts. And so you might feel an increasing sense of connectedness to some of these others. Some of them may actually even be unconsciously called into your life, because I am picking up that you, Divine Feminine, are, and I've said this in many readings before, but it's like you are this lighthouse or this beacon guiding other ships to the shore. But another way to think about that is when you share your light, it's highly magnetic to those who are ready to be illuminated, those who are ready to awaken consciously or unconsciously. And because of this, they will find themselves magnetically drawn to you. And I heard this really interesting message from my guides as I was meditating to prepare for this reading. And it was that increasingly, Divine Feminine, you're going to find that those who are not ready to awaken, those who are really holding on to the old earth, to 3D earth, will be able to see you and connect with you and hear you less and less. This is because there's an increasing divide in the vibrational frequency of those who are choosing to stay in this 3D heavy, dense earth mentality paradigm, and those who are choosing to rise to a higher level of consciousness. That means that when you are on this entirely different frequency from those who don't want to tune into a higher level of vibration, who are afraid of the change or afraid of the unknown, you will find that even if you're in the same room, you may feel as though these others aren't noticing you, aren't seeing you. When you're in conversation with them, you might literally feel as though they aren't hearing your words or they're misunderstanding your words, or vice versa. They might say something to you and it's almost like their words aren't fully registering to you. When this happens, it's because you are on entirely different wavelengths. So in a sense, my guides are teasing, it's almost like trying to make a long distance call with a poor connection on two different sides of the globe. But the ironic thing about that metaphor is, because of this shift in consciousness, physical distance as well is becoming less and less relevant. So you could be more connected to someone who is 1,000 miles away than you are to someone who is in the same room as you. Because again, we're becoming much more energy-based beings and less physical, material-based beings. And so this means that we're really opening ourselves up to connecting with our soul family wherever they may be in the world, but we're also going to find it increasingly difficult to connect with those who might even be physically just a few feet away from us, but are on a very different wavelength, a very different frequency. And I'm hearing a strong message for someone. I don't know who this is for, but someone's guides wants to say to them, don't try to make people see you who aren't even willing to see themselves, because you are like this powerful mirror. I'm hearing anyone who has really cleared their vibration the way that you have, it's almost like cleaning the surface of a mirror where you naturally reflect back whatever someone truly is to them. So in this case, many may see parts and pieces of themselves in you and feel a connection with you, whereas others might actually feel highly triggered, because the clarity and the purity of your energy is like that clean mirror that's reflecting back to them so sharply and so vividly parts of themselves that they may not be ready to see or to face. Yeah, here we have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. That's interesting. I wanted to say King at first. So that makes me think that with this Knight of Swords reversed, there may be someone that at first you thought was a king energy. So Divine Feminine, I'm feeling the entrance of a masculine energy in this reading. So there may be a masculine. This is someone, for whoever I'm speaking to, someone who feels like they missed an opportunity or a chance with you. This is someone who may have carried a really powerful energetic bond to you, where it was almost like an explosion of energy when they entered your life. I feel that this really derailed you mentally, emotionally, just because the energy was so powerful. This may be someone who, when you were around them, you even physically felt ungrounded. So you may have not been able to eat properly, to sleep properly, just because of how intense this person's energy was or is when they do connect with you or when they connected with you in the past. However, this is someone who, although they were being pushed by their soul, by their guides to take action, to seize this opportunity, their human ego self was pushing them to do the opposite, to move, I'm hearing like molasses, really, really slowly, if at all, towards you. And this ultimately led them to this point where they now, for some reason, are feeling as though they missed an opportunity. So you may have distanced yourself from this person. You may have really pulled back your energy or your communication and began focusing more back within yourself. This may have been really necessary for you for the purpose of grounding, because again, the energy between you and this masculine was most likely so intense that you were very ungrounded around them, even physically. It may have literally felt like you were floating if you would be in the same room as them, like almost as though you were having an out-of-body experience when you were near this person, or your body may have felt like it was buzzing or vibrating. The energy here was so strong, or is so strong. It is strong still, but I feel that now you've set stronger boundaries up against that energy to focus on yourself. You've created this kind of sacred container around yourself to not be so bombarded by the energy, whereas this masculine is actually feeling it much more heavily at this point than you are. You may even be feeling a slight sense of apathy towards this person, or a little bit of repulsion because of how they did seem to be moving so slowly. Now with Page of Pentacles upright, this can really represent new beginnings. You might be focusing, instead of on this person, you may have shifted your attention to I'm hearing earthly matters of your life, whatever that means for you. This could be your home, your work, your family. You could be focusing towards some kind of new beginning, a goal or endeavor in your life. Particularly, I feel this could apply in work, finances, business, or sharing your soul gifts with others in some way. And this focus has actually made you very magnetic as well. It's grounded you. It's caused you to be able to cultivate more of an energy of peace, of stability within yourself. But it's also caused you to become magnetic for this very same masculine who may have been moving very slowly. I'm hearing dragging his feet from a spiritual perspective on this connection in the past. It may have even felt as though he was going against soul intentions that the two of you shared together. So you may have thought, I see someone like waiting at a crossroads. It's almost like you waited for this person to catch up to you, to catch up to the knowing. You may have tried to be patient with their physical human self and catching up to the knowing of the connection between your souls. But ultimately, it feels almost like being ghosted, like this person didn't show up. It may feel as though I just keep getting the imagery of someone who's like waiting somewhere for someone who made plans to be there with them, but is not showing up. Now, that might apply literally for some of you to something that happened with this person. There's just almost the energy of feeling as though you've been stood up, but on a really deep soul level, like your souls had this plan prior to incarnating here to meet at this particular juncture in your human path, and you were there, but this person wasn't fully meeting you there, if that makes sense. So I hope that reaches whoever needs to hear it. So once again, my eyes are drawn to that messenger card, circling back to your soul mission here on earth. I feel that you've turned your attention away from this specific physical person and back to being that embodiment of light and love, being that creative powerhouse that you know you came here to be. I'm hearing someone say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for, being ungrounded or derailed by someone spiritually and energetically who isn't going to fulfill their end of the soul contract, who isn't going to be meeting me where I am. So I'm going to be reshuffling the cards here, but I am also seeing, and I have to point out, this Six of Swords energy. This represents calmer waters ahead, healing, progressing, moving forward, finding relief, finding stability. So for those of you who have felt in a chaotic time, emotionally, literally, physically in your life, this is a really positive omen for very calm, healing, stable times ahead. For others of you, this could be a general theme of your life. It could represent that you've gone through a very rocky beginning in your life. Maybe you were born into challenging family dynamics or circumstances in your life, or you've gone through very heavy times of your life. But I feel this really representing shifting into a time of much greater stability in the physical 3D world. Can I get more information on this stability? Here we have deceit in the reverse position. So living in the energy of truth or some kind of truth coming to light. Okay, this is about your inner truth. So this is sitting on your throat chakra, and I see that your throat chakra has been activated to the degree that you are very clearly able to connect with your truth, both internally as well as the energy of truth within others. I'm hearing clear sight and clear knowing. We have Angel of Strength that represents you really in your power and confidence within this clear knowing. And what I see here, Divine Feminine, is that you are seeing others for their truth more than ever before. You may find that your intuition has been feeling stronger and more accurate and more immediate than ever. You may connect with others and feel as though you are just sensing them or seeing them for who they truly are almost immediately, even if you don't know them very well. And this is because you've connected with the energy of truth within yourself. I feel that you've had to face some very hard truths about yourself, your own life, your relationships, and facing your own truth and embracing those truths and committing fully to the energy of truth has opened you up to being able to clearly see the energy of truth as well as the energy of deception wherever it is, even when it's within other people or other situations. It's like I just keep getting you're able to see through everything much more clearly than ever before. But this is because you have had the courage to face some very challenging truths in your life or in your relationships. And I'm getting that other people in similar circumstances would have probably turned a blind eye and lived in some kind of denial. Because again, the truth that you faced, whatever it was, I don't know what this is for you. This could be different for different people, but this feels like you really committing fully to being honest with yourself about what is going on, about how you're feeling, about how you're being treated by other people or within relationships or connections or environments, about what your soul really craves and needs out of this life experience, embracing those truths that other people bury because those things can be very painful to face, especially when we're still in circumstances that feel very contradictory to the truth that we've just allowed ourselves to realize. So for some of you, this could be facing the truth about being in some kind of connection in the past where you weren't being fairly treated or cared for with the kind of honor and respect that you so desired, craved, and deserved as this powerful spiritual being, this goddess-like being that you are. For others of you, this could be embracing the truth that you were not feeling soul fulfilled in some kind of place, job, environment, circumstance. But again, I just feel that it's almost like you've been blessed with the ability to see the truth clearly in other people and situations because you overcame the obstacle of seeing that truth within yourself in your own life, even when sometimes that truth was like a medicine that tasted bitter. Okay, so now we have Angel of Love upright and anxiety in the upright position. So of course you are represented here as this Angel of Love, this angelic being of unconditional loving energy. But I want to get more information on the anxiety card coming up here. So someone may have had some conscious anxieties or fears surfacing recently. There may have been circumstances of your physical earthly life that caused you some anxiety recently. If that is the case, by the way, your guides want you to know that you are on the right path with the Temple Path card in the upright position, because I am getting someone may have gone through something that was challenging or looked like an obstacle or may have brought up fears or anxieties, and they may have been wondering, am I actually on the right track here? So for whoever was asking that question, I feel a really resounding yes, you are on the right path. Nothing has truly gone wrong here. However, for others of you, this anxiety card may actually connect to someone externally feeling anxious consciously because they're seeing you embodying this beautiful energy. They're feeling a lot of admiration towards you, but they're anxious about something here too. I feel that this could be someone anxious of being left out of your life. This could be a masculine energy for many of you. This also might be a twin flame for some of you listening, because I do have the Magician and the Mirror card reversed, which I tend to take as representing the balance between divine feminine and divine masculine energy in a counterpart situation. And the fact this card is reversed tells me something may have been unbalanced here. With the throat chakra reversed, this can also represent the two of you not necessarily being in strong or consistent physical 3D communication, or this masculine wanting to say something that they're holding back. And if they're wanting to say something they're holding back, I do see this being that they're heartbroken over you with the broken heart card in the upright position. So there's a lot of emotional energy coming out here. And also this person, this most likely a masculine energy, is recognizing that there's a very powerful and intense energetic bond between the two of you that they can't fully grasp or understand, but that they're consciously realizing is there with the crown chakra in the upright position. So in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, I will be reading more into this masculine feeling anxious as they see you in this really beautiful energy, perhaps being heartbroken over you, recognizing that there's some deeper bond here. So we'll be reading into what this masculine is really thinking, feeling, and experiencing. We do have door to spirit. So I sense that this person is going through a very intense spiritual awakening at this time. In the extended version of the reading, I will also be channeling into more messages from your spirit guides and higher self, anything that you might need to know at this point on your life path. I'll also be channeling into any other energies, people, situations that might be energetically attached to you, to your aura at this time. So the link to the extended reading on Patreon with all of those additional messages is in the pinned comment and description box under the video if you do feel guided to join me there. Also, if I do resonate with you energetically, then I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I have pulled one final card from the Rumi Oracle deck, and this card is the Dissolving Light. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. This oracle comes to you as a sign of that which is to come, and soon. The beloved divine presence is calling to you, igniting within your deepest being so that it may have its way with you. The divine wishes to live through you and into the world, reaching into the hearts of many and igniting those hearts into greater life. It is a clever and insatiable lover. It will stop at nothing until the entire human race is restored to the wild divine freedom of ecstatic divine reunion, completely and utterly ignited in love. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading today. If you do want to join me in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, where we will be heading to next, the link to that is under the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love today, wishing you a beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.